Mike, check. Justin Hunt. It's all happening. Thank you to everybody rocking with the channel. Thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel, who shared a link, shared a video. It's priceless. Big thank you to everyone who's donated. If you'd like to donate, you can hit the Cash App that's right up there, or you can hit the link in the description. And big thank you to all my newest members. Kara Turner, still tussling with the channel. Andrew Nienke, Tamia Peach, Indica Breath, spoiler alert, J.H. McCashlin, Billionaires Forever Clothing, Ariel Smoke, the God. Big shout out to you, Ariel Smoke. I appreciate that, brother. Ramon Pascal, Matt Traverso, Pippi, Pete, Sheena Verrett, DJ Nasha, Quentin Hughes, Stephen P., Gene Edwards and Leonidas the Kitty, Antoinette, Yo Nomadic, Gentle RC, Mick Don D, Keisha B, 9-second applause. Thank you. Haven't done that in a long time. Anyone who would love to support this channel, becoming a member is the best way to do it. There's a link in the description. Just click the link and that'll take you to where you can sign up. You get custom emojis, you get videos first, you get some other things I'm rolling out this year too, but big day. Okay. One of the things we've been talking about the past couple of weeks, really big storyline the past couple of weeks, was Kendrick Lamar's verse on Whips and Chains. Now, this is one of the more controversial verses that we've heard in a long time, and we haven't even heard it. Until today. But part of the controversy was that during a feature on Clipse and GQ, Pusha T talked about how Def Jam dropped Pusha T and Clipse, Mouse and Pusha T, dropped Clipse because of Kendrick Lamar's verse on Chains and Whips. It's ridiculous. It sounds crazy. And so in that article, he said that they were too scared to put out this verse in the shadow of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Now, I think that there had to be more stuff going on. I think there was more going on. There's more details to the story than the initial reporting by GQ. The next day, for example, Pusha T's manager, Clipse's manager, Stephen Victor, he did an interview with Billboard, if I'm not mistaken, Billboard Pro, and he said it was actually UMG, and it was the UMG lyrics department that had an issue with it. Now, all the speculation has been that the issue has been around them not having an appetite to put out a Drake, a song that might have subs that Drake on it, right? And I just think that's so wild because of all the things that they have been willing to sustain, including the whole GNX album, for example. This might have been a bit too much. Nevertheless, we've been waiting for a long time to hear this verse. And during a listening, I guess yesterday, I think, Malice and Pusha T previewed that verse. And it's dope. It's so dope. It's fire. And Kendrick is rapping. Now, I'm not going to play the song. Spoiler alert, I am not going to play the song. We'll get that out the way right now. I think there's a lot of weird things that seem to be happening with YouTube and UMG, coincidentally, maybe not coincidentally. Cliff Beats has a lot of great reporting on his channel about this very topic. And one of the things that's happening is that UMG is making a play to buy a number of different independent distribution companies. And as a result, you're starting to see a lot of reactors who are getting hit with takedown notices. Not even just taking the revenue, but full takedown notices. Right, and getting flags on the channel, which is deaf to a channel, which can be deaf to a channel. And so I'm not taking any risks unless I know that I can get something cleared or I have the approval from whoever's putting it up. It's a new day, okay? But I think the rhyme scheme and the lyrics are interesting enough that we can actually talk through them, right? So here is what the event looked like, right? So this is No Malice, Pusha T, and Pharrell. And so this is where they had their listening for the project last night. This is what it looks like. Beautiful day, right? And so that's that. The clip that came out is a minute long, and it's not the full verse. So there are some parts left to be heard. Again, this project comes out July 11th. But here are the lyrics. Here are the lyrics, right? So Kendrick Lamar starts his verse with, "I'm not the candidate to vibe with," right? Now, again, I think it's interesting. Well, I'll talk about some of the things I think about when I see this verse here. You know, if I had to guess, I'd say this was during campaign season. I think he probably wrote this verse last summer. I think it might have been, just during the election cycle, right? So that means that all the battle tracks have probably happened already at this point in time, I would guess. He probably had already recorded Watch the Party Die. And there's some elements of Watch the Party Die and the energy he was on in that battle that show up in this verse. But his first line, "I'm not the candidate to vibe with," that feels like election season. Feels like an election season bar. "I'm not the candidate to vibe with. I don't F with the kumbaya-ish. All that talent must be God sent. I sent your ass back to the cosmics," okay? Right, I don't F with the kumbaya-ish, right? That's the energy he's been on. That's why I feel like this is in the same energy as Watch the Party Die. A lot of the things on GNX, for example, a lot of the things that he talked about in his Apple Music interview with before the Super Bowl, when he talked about how he's not worried about what other people think anymore. That's what this feels like right here. 1 second, applause. "I'm not the candidate to vibe with. I don't F with the kumbaya-ish. All that talent must be God sent. I sent your ass back to the cosmics." Yep, he did. He definitely did. 1 second, applause. And we appreciate it too. We appreciate that. He continues, "The things I've seen under my eyelids, kaleidoscope dreams, murder, and sirens. Let's be clear, hip hop died again. Half my profits may go to Rakim." Rakim shout out. 1 second, applause. The God MC right there. One of the most influential, if not the most influential lyricist of all time. The God MC, Rakim himself, gets a shout out. And this is another reason why this feels like the similar energy that he was in last summer when I think about Watch the Party Die. Because in that song, Lecrae got a shout out, D1 got a shout out. You know, he's sending his flowers in a really dope way. Really dope way right here. That line is the line that went viral today as people were reacting to this clip coming out here. "Half my profits may go to Rakim. How many Judases done let me down?" That's the next line. How many Judases done let me down? Now, you know what people started thinking about that one. You know what people started thinking about that one. You know, I mean, because this battle was supposed to be 3. There was supposed to be 3 in the battle, and one of them apologized really quick. So allusions, or people are interpreting that as perhaps alluding to J. Cole. Now, we'll find out one day, maybe we never will. But the timing of this, the timing of all of this, it makes all of this fall in line. I mean, that's another theory that's out there about whacked out murals on GNX, for example, on whacked out murals. There's a line that's bleeped out. And there's a couple of lines that are bleeped out, but there's a significant line that's bleeped out. And there's a lot of people speculating. None of this is confirmed, but there's speculation that one of the bleeped out lines is, "I made a born sinner bow to King Kendrick Lamar." Or I made a born sinner bow to King Kendrick. Right. And so people assume that's what that line is, or there's a rumor, or there's discussions or assumptions, whatever, right? So that's on Whacked Out Murals. Again, that project came out in November of last year. Here he says, "How many Judases done let me down?" Similar energy. Perhaps this is J. Cole too. That's what the conversation is right now. People thinking that's J. Cole. We don't know, but it's a fire line anyway. I'm gonna read these last 2 back to back again. "Half my profits may go to Rakim. How many Judases done let me down? But F it, the West Mind we right now. Therapy showed me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a F," right? And so that line is in the GQ piece. And so we knew this line was coming, but that's such a hard line. Therapy taught me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a F. Oh, 1 second, applause. I love that. It's weighty bars like that. Weighty bars like that. Get me every time. Get me every time. "The 2-time Gemini with the genocide. I'm generous however you want it. I'll be the gentle kind." Now, this part right here is also really viral right now. This part is really dope. Really dope. The rhyme scheme is dope. how he is flipping he's flipping Gen, Gen, in a lot of different ways right here, so pay attention. It's dope. The two-time Gemini with the genocide. I'm generous, however you want it, I'll be the gentle kind. Gentlemen and gangsters connect the agenda of mine, which is dope too. I feel like that's another allusion to the pop out. Gentlemen and gangsters connect the agenda of mine. You know, we did have the pop out, actually 1 year anniversary to the pop out just passed recently. He also had a birthday recently. And, you know, this does feel very in that same energy of last summer. Gentlemen and gangsters connect the agenda of mine. Move niggas up out of here. This shit get gentrified. I love that line so much. He just sun and catch. Just get up out of here. Get out of here. We gentrified now. 1 second applause. It's a shift happening. I don't know if you've been paying attention to some of y'all's favorite rappers right now, but they are having a hard time moving the needle. Move niggas up out of here. This ish get gentrified. Heavy jeans like Genevieve's, I drop your Pentagon. Now, there's a lot of subtleties in here too. Like this heavy jeans like Genevieve's, the Genius Annotation says this is Genevieve's who created the Genevieve crime family. I believe they created blue jeans, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm reading that correctly. So heavy jeans like Genevieve's is a double entendre. I drop your Pentagon. And then Genevieve, someone named Genevieve wrote the Pentagon Papers, right? So Pentagon Papers were, you know, they were like WikiLeaks of the 70s, basically. And so, fire bar right there. Heavy jeans like Genevieve's, I drop your Pentagon. If this Genius Annotation is true, that is fire. And show up at your gender reveal and tell them, give me mine. Show up at your gender reveal and tell them, give me mine. Because they're his sons. Everybody's his sons right now. 1 second applause. This is dope. Wait till you guys hear it. I know you've heard it, but wait till you hear it. It's fire. I son hitters, I'm the general, where my gin and juice. Every song in the book of Genesis, like the sonic boom, right? Let the sonics boom, excuse me. So I son hitters, I'm the general, where my gin and juice. Now that has a lot of people, feels very Drake direct, right? Because you have the I'm the general line, which comes from how Drake starts off the Heart Part 6, where my gin and juice is a line that he has in Family Matters. And so again, it feels like it was made last summer. Every song in the book of Genesis, let the sonics boom. Hitters want the tea on me, well, here's the ginger root. That is a hard line too. Hitters want the tea on me, well, here's the ginger root, right? And that whole battle, Drake's team spent all that time trying to pick up dust, trying to find dirt on Kendrick, which was crazy. Well, here's the ginger root. 1 second applause. I generate residuals, B, get off my genitals. They said I couldn't reach Gen Z, you effing dickheads. You must be full of that ginseng. Here comes the jinx, yeah. Ain't genetics been synthetic, screaming they genius. A finger wave, they all fall, hitters is Jenga. God gave me light, a good year full of. And then that's where it cuts off in the clip that everyone has. But you can see the rhyme scheme that he's running versus fire. When I first talked about this, I guess it was either in January, maybe late last year when conversation around this project first started. I described this as something that would live in think piece territory. Or at least it was described to me as something that would live in think piece territory. And I think there's a lot more here than just the Drake allusions that appear to be here. At least I think most of us would take these as Drake subs that's going back and forth. I mean, I'm curious to see where this ends quite a bit, because in here he's referencing the Pentagon. You know what I mean? So he's got the Pentagon. He opens it up with, I'm not the candidate to vibe with, you know. It's election season last year, so perhaps there's another, you know, political election type reference that comes later on, who knows. You know, that stands out to me quite a bit. The whole angster, it feels like it fits Let God Sort Him Out from what we've heard so far from this project, with the energy Pusha T is on, so Kendrick is in pocket. And perhaps that's the energy Kendrick is driving. You know, maybe that energy from Kendrick is inspiring certain types of lyricists to, so be it, so be it. This is what it is. We're going to have to let them know. You know, it's been, 8 days since Travis Scott. We haven't heard from Travis Scott in 8 days. I'm not sure Travis Scott won it. 1 second applause. But I think that's really fire here too. And then it's also obviously him standing on his throne. He is basking in everything that he's accomplished. It's been a year full of success. And that's what this verse feels like right here too. It's while sunning anybody who wants some of it at the same time. So this verse is fire. I can't wait to hear the rest of it. I can't wait to hear the whole Clipse project. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Here are a few reactions that stood out to me. This one, shout out to Unbecoming. Unbecoming posted this to Twitter. She said, when Kendrick's verse started with, I already knew he was going to stomp the yard. Stomp the yard. 1 second applause. Great tweet and a great movie. King Kendrick posted, Kendrick, stay believing in Gen Z. Some people tell us this generation don't have what it takes. Gen Z, we talk about it all day. They try to pull us down and say we don't know what we're doing. They're wrong though, because not only you all have what it takes, you have something bigger. You have heart. Y'all have the courage to be independent thinkers. There's nothing more valuable than that. And so what this is a clip from his speech to Compton College. He was the keynote speaker at graduation last summer. And so this is a quote from that. You can see some of it right here. But that was a great call back there. Stand it up for Gen Z. 1 second applause. Shout out to Mr. Busby over here. How many Judases to let me down? Got J. Cole over here. Oh, gosh. Jazzy doubled up. J. Cole hearing Kendrick say, how many Judases to let me down? You know, I think this kid got drafted. Either he got drafted or he got a college scholarship, but this kid is a grown man now. 1 second applause to him. Forever in internet history. Whooping feet. Shout out to Whooping Feet. Whoever said Gen Z don't mess with Kendrick Lamar, thank you. Now he just gave us the greatest Gen rhyme scheme ever. Show up at your gender reveal and tell him, give me mine. Sons. All his sons. Feel like when whoever whacked out his mural, shout out to you too. It's the truth. It's the truth, man. Kendrick is letting everybody know right now. Letting everybody know. We got this one right here from Dot. Kendrick Lamar snuck Jen in that whole effing verse like he did 10 in Nostalgia. And that's another dope Easter egg here. Because he did something very similar in Nostalgia, which is Kendrick Lamar and Pusha T. So another sort of connecting point in the lineage of these collaborations. 1 second applause. Mr. Busby, again, he was killing it. By the tone of Kendrick's verse, you could tell he was still in battle mode. I 100% agree with that. We got one from Nikisha. Kendrick set the bar so high now. Like if you can rap, okay, that's cool. But at this point, you show the F out for real to get the respect as a rapper MC. No more lazy raps. And I agree with that. And I think, we've been talking quite a bit about a shift that has been taking place. And, the way people are talking online for a lot of fans are very upset. They feel like Kendrick's ruined hip hop. And I believe that's probably a certain type of fan, a fan of artists who aren't necessarily this layered or this deep or this lyrical or this whatever, this competitive in how they approach each track. Perhaps that's what it is. But there's a lot of things that just don't seem to be hitting the same way. Young Thug, he's searching right now. For him to have an album dropping right now or coming soon, You Watch Scuddy. First project since he's been back outside. Money Over Money, I think it's called, with him and Future. It was on the charts for 2 weeks. We covered that in the chart report. Just fizzled away. I don't see the energy around Thug. I just don't. For example, I heard a song today I love. I love the song with JID, Jid, and Offset. That new joint is tough. But there's a lot of things that just don't seem to be hitting the same way. And so we'll have to see what happens as more releases come out in the near future. But this is a point in time where not a lot of really great rap is standing out. And things that really performed well aren't performing the same. I mean, even look at Drake's Tu Maza. Is that song came and went as like a blip, almost like it was a leaked track. They made a whole video for that. I'm not seeing that anywhere. Let me know if you guys are listening to Maza, because I'm not seeing it. And so perhaps that's what it is. Perhaps this is now a new lyricist era. And maybe now it's time to really come with some raps, have some things to say. You know, we're at war right now. And now is not the time to not be taking things seriously. We'll see, but I agree with this tweet. 1 second applause. Here's Jeremy Heck. Kendrick snapped, but it's still so funny to think that this one verse had guys stressing to read the lyrics and caused a whole group to switch labels. All I imagine is Kendrick somewhere laughing the whole time. I mean, this is, what did he say? What did he say on To Pimp a Butterfly? I resolved in that private hall while sitting down with Jay. They said it's funny how one verse can F up the game. Well, he has done that a lot of times now. He's done that a lot of times. This did that. Like That did that. All the tracks he dropped during the battle, of course. Whacked Out Murals had a similar effect. Watch the Party Die. This verse has got people switching labels. Switching labels. Don't put that on Def Jam, y'all. That was UMG. You know Def Jam wanted to put this out more than anybody else. 1 second applause to Def Jam. I thought this was cool too. This is not related to the song, but this was announced this week. Temple University is adding a new course titled Kendrick Lamar and the Morale of the Mad City. Here's what the description says. Titled Kendrick Lamar and the Morale of the Mad City, the course will be taught by Timothy Welbeck, an assistant professor in the university's Africology and African American Studies department. In Welbeck's course about Kendrick Lamar, students will dissect and analyze Lamar's work through an Afrocentric lens while looking at the policies that shaped his upbringing and the environment in Compton, California that shaped his music and perspective. The course will also delve into how Lamar sits in the West Coast canon and the musical heritage from which Lamar comes in that space. That's really dope right there. 1 second applause. But yeah, this is dope. So Kendrick Lamar is now at Temple University's Africology and African American Studies department. 1 second applause. So beautiful, so beautiful. Now, if you're curious of what Drake's up to, he recently walked out Morgan Wallen, Mr. Ilyuk Gross himself, at his concert in Houston, doing his best to reclaim the Canadian tuxedo. I'll talk more about that during Chart Report this week. But all in all, this is really dope. This is our first look at Kendrick's verse on Chains and Whips off the Clipse album. Clipse' new album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, arrives on July 11th. Mark your calendars. I can't wait. Definitely one of the most anticipated projects in a very long time. Let me know what you think about what you've seen about the verse, the reaction to it, your reaction to it. My name is Justin Hunt. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man on everything, including the Company Man podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views that's radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, dog, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.